One of the ways that you can make your CG cameras look a little bit more realistic is to add some camera shake. So I figured we'd take a look at how we can add some realistic camera shake inside Houdini. So I just have a pig head here, and then we are going to need a camera. So let's just control click on our camera here. And once we have that, and this goes for pretty much any number value inside of Houdini, you can add some noise to the values. So the way that we could do this is right click. So we're going to do the rotate value here. So we're going to right click on the name and we're going to come down to motion effects, and then we can select one of these options here. I'm going to do noise, and this brings up the motion effects little pop-up here. And this gives us a graph of what our noise is looking like. So if I just toggle real time here and I click play, you can see that this is pretty shaky and very chaotic. Not really what we're looking for. But once we affect these values, we can start to dial in just exactly what we're looking for. So we have different noise types here that we can choose. You can see how they affect the noise. Let's see, this one could potentially be okay if we dropped the amplitude down a little bit. Give you a pretty decent starting point. You may want to adjust that a little bit further. Well, you can choose any of these values here. Let's just stick with the sparse for now. And just like any of the normal noises inside Houdini, you have a ton of options here. So if I just bring this amplitude back up, we have this roughness value, which basically will smooth out our noise. If I raise this, it's going to make it super chaotic. You can see that that just kind of jumps us all over the place. And if we bring this down a lot more, it's a lot more smooth, but again, it's swinging widely just due to this amplitude. But if we bring this period up, we can stretch this out, and that kind of slows it down a little bit, makes it look a little bit better. So a combination of this and maybe bringing down the amplitude as well can give us something kind of decent, maybe a little bit up. Maybe we'll add a little bit of roughness to this. And you can see we get a little bit of a camera shake going on here that's really not too distracting. Obviously you dial this into your personal preferences, but you can get some interesting effects in here. Like I said, this goes for pretty much anything inside Houdini that has a number value. So we could come back to the geometry here, and if I wanted to just translate this pig head, we could again come down to this motion effects and then the noise. And you can see that if I go ahead and just jump out of our camera here, if I click play, this is jumping all over the place, which may not be what you're looking for depending on what you're trying to do. Maybe it is. Maybe you want to use this as some type of emitter for a particle simulation or something like that. Maybe that's kind of what you're looking for, but you can do some interesting things here. Get some nice movement along, a nice smooth movement along your geometry, and just, you know, not have to manually keyframe everything, which is nice because you have to manually keyframe everything. It can get a little choppy and weird and take some time to dial in, whereas this noise is a little bit easier to kind of work with to get some nice realistic movement, especially with the cameras. So that's how you get some nice procedural noise movement inside of your cameras, get some nice camera shake going. But hopefully this helped you out. I do have a bunch of other videos on my channel that go over a bunch of other things inside Houdini. So if you're interested in any of that, make sure you guys check out those videos. A bunch of stuff on, like I said, Houdini, Redshift inside of Houdini. I got a little bit on Cinema 4D and Clarice as well. So if you're interested in any of that, check those out. But anyways, thank you guys for watching and have a good day.